You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to episode number 144 in season 3 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Today, recording day is Monday, June 19th, 2023, and it's going to be a gorgeous day here at the Beaver Lodge, at least weather-wise. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver, eh? And with me, as always, is my dear friend, Mr. Grizzly. I mean, I assume it's always a gorgeous day at the Beaver Lodge, but, now the weather's cooperating as well. Of course, a big thank you goes to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. We have a Monday morning bite for you, but before we get into anything else, let's do the most important thing we do on the show. Say good morning to you, Mr. Grizzly, and ask you how's your mental health today.
I had myself on mute. Good morning, Mr. Beaver. I'm going to need more coffee. A lot more coffee.
M-O-A-R.
More. I need more coffee.
Oh no. There's mourning for the stash. There is mourning.
Yeah.
O-U-R-N. Mourning for the for the stash.
Sorry. I needed it gone. I can pull off the beard, and I know that some people like me with the stash. I can't take myself seriously with a feather duster like that. Honest to goodness, I look in the mirror and I just laugh at myself. So yeah, I'm not a mustache guy. I know I can pull it off. It's the psychology of it, right? I can't wrap my head around it. I know I can pull off the look.
So you're a mustache guy or you're not. You're a bow tie guy or you're not.
Yeah.
Right? You're a hat guy.
Bow tie guy, I guess if you're wearing Chippendale's collar, maybe.
Yeah. You're a hat guy or you're not. Right?
Oh, definitely a hat guy.
Yeah, exactly. Good morning. There you go, Daily Beaver. Good morning to you, Kit Wishful Sun, Kit Elaine, Kit Jillian, Kit Jen. Lovely to see you, my dears. Kit Dan T. Hey. And you had a little moment on Casual Friday there, my friend. Good morning, Kit Mike H. And good morning, the Daily Beaver. A couple things that on my end. Unfortunately, I did not. the suitcase, as you can see, is still back here, and I'm at the Beaver Lodge, so I did not go for the audition this weekend, unfortunately.
No?
Life situations, yes, have happened, so I had to choose between home life and choose between ambition, and this time I chose home life. Not an easy decision.
Hmm.
Not
Sometimes.
necessarily happy about it, but it's the right decision.
Yeah, sometimes necessary, right?
Yeah. I won't lie. I was also a bit tired. So
Usually plays into it, I find.
Yeah. I really wanted to go for this. Not sure how much chance I had, really, but I wanted to go for it. But the last 2 weeks, the days off that we've had between shows, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go play tennis. Now, last week the weather didn't cooperate, but that's quite all right because my body was not going to be doing it.
Right.
It was not going to happen. I was so sore all over, sleep deprived, that this week feeling a little better. I might actually, if I could find a partner, might actually go and try my hand at it today. But I was thinking, do I really want to get involved in another show right now as well? Because I'm kind of feeling this one. But the main consideration was that the first, normally for a musical, we get about 3 months, and this one was 6 weeks. And the first 2 weeks were the last 2 weeks of August, and that's about the time that my sweetie has off between teaching in the summer session and teaching in the fall session. So if we want to have any kind of vacation together, that's going to be the time. So I could either be involved in a show or I could be spending vacation time with my sweetie. So
Yeah, vacation's
opted
important.
for
It's
vacation.
necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yes, I'm still going to be going to the Ottawa Beaver Lodge for Tuesday, because Tuesday is Amanda Marshall Day. Woohoo!
Yes, it is.
And
I read the
it's,
review of her performance at Massey Hall in Toronto,
yes,
and she tore the roof off the place.
yeah,
They're like just unbelievable. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I know. Still have my fingers crossed that we will be able to get an interview. We heard back from the company the first time, and they asked for some data to see what our reach was. Sent it to them, but waiting to hear back. I sent a gentle reminder yesterday. Hi, we're still interested. If you
See
still
what
have an
happens.
opening. So we'll see what happens. No guarantee, of course, but we're trying it, and it's the first time that we try to get an interview with a celebrity. So we're kind of new at going at it, so we're not exactly sure what we're doing. So, but
This is what makes it fun, though, right? Like,
we got a reply. So I guess
exactly.
the first letter was okay. But yeah, so we'll see how that works. And this afternoon, I will be on Dean's show.
Oh, cool.
So if you all want to tune in, Dean wrote me on the weekend and asked me if I would come on. I think we are going to be speaking about the fact that a lot of people in June seem to be stricken with a sudden case of acute rainbow-itis.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's Pride Month, and it's also like spend entire Pride Month swatting down people who can't deal with Pride Month.
Well, and it's also look at all the hatred and bigotry and homophobia that has suddenly come out of the woodwork in the last couple of years that wasn't there before, or was it below the surface, or are they just suddenly feel emboldened to be raging cocks about it?
Month. A lot of hyphens in that month. So yeah, now fortunately we the fabulous are exceptional at time management, so we have time to be fabulous and swat down, but we'd rather focus the entirety of our time being fabulous if we could. That would be appreciated.
Yeah, and I
We're much
see
more
all these.
productive when we're fabulous.
Well, I see these hate rallies taking place, and there's a part of me that wants to go and counter protest. But um, some of the counter protesters, I don't care for the manner in which they're doing things. They're I think there's better ways to do it, honestly. But again, I'm not a member of the community, so I'm, if somebody says let's go and counter protest, I'm like, okay, what would you like to do, and how do you want to go about it? Because if you're going to do something that I disagree with, I'm not going to take part. And
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of counter protesters that have been very, I don't know, counterproductive,
Hmm.
just spewing. They're fighting hate with hate, and I don't think that's the
Hmm.
right way to do it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, personal opinion. Maybe others feel differently, but I don't think you fight hate with hate. That's just me.
Hmm.
And I think it's just it's added fuel to the fire. Standing back and watching it, I've noticed that the counter protesters are getting pilloried just as badly as the protesters. So it's like it's just, and I don't know if my mental health can handle the hatred. Right?
Hmm.
It's and you got to understand I'm a delicate flower when it comes to that because I've never been exposed to it.
Hmm. Yeah, similar. And I mean,
Hmm.
similar. Not like that.
No,
Definitely not
exactly.
like that.
Yeah. Like I know you've been on the receiving end
Yeah, but not
but
someone
not
walks
like
right
that,
in my face and yelling that
screaming
way.
at you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've never. Fortunately,
Mhm.
blessed to live in Canada. But yeah, fortunately. Um, but
And
yeah,
it's not that I'm afraid to confront them. It's
I
just
know.
I don't know that if I can emotionally, mentally handle that kind of
Mhm.
hatred directly in my face. And the hatred isn't even directed at me per se. It's just, there's that walking the razor's edge on mental health and how there are times when I need to step away from things
Oh yeah, yeah,
because
absolutely.
if I don't, it's going to destroy me. And what use am I to humanity then, right?
Yeah,
How can I make a cause better if I need to spend weeks in bed?
yeah, yeah.
You know,
So uh, yeah. So yeah, I will be on Dean's show 3, and hopefully we'll talk about other stuff as well. But yeah, it's always a good time when I'm there, and well, he's good to us, so it's always a joy to be invited and asked on. So yeah, if you're able to join me for that or catch that later, we would really appreciate that. Um, in the news, uh, it is, if you are happen to be one of our American watchers, it's Juneteenth.
hmm
So that's the newest federal holiday in the States. And, you know, it's basically celebrating or marking the day that people who were enslaved in Galveston, Texas, were finally told that the Civil War had ended about 2 years after it ended and that they were free, had been free the entire time. Um, but some people just didn't feel it was important to get on that to let them know, you know, just extract a couple more years of stuff from their property,
free labor.
maximize that resource. So yes, they were finally told, and celebrate the struggle and the path, the road traveled since then, and obviously make a commitment to having eyes wide open for what is the road still yet ahead. But
Hmm
yes, so to anybody celebrating that, there you go. We're with you. We don't have Juneteenth, of course, in Canada, but we do have Emancipation Day, which I believe is also relatively new, recognized holiday in Canada,
Yes.
and I believe it's in August, if I'm not mistaken, for us. But yeah, to our American friends, happy Juneteenth. And in Canada, it's by election day. And no, that's not the day that you vote for bisexual people.
You can if you like.
I mean, you can, but it's not the date where the government forces you to vote for bisexual people because they're shoving it down your throats. Okay, that's the one thing about this. I'm sorry, I don't want to give this any more attention because I'm going to be talking about enough this afternoon. But the whole shoving things down throats, they
Yeah.
want to penetrate our children's minds, or like really, really, really.
Yeah.
You want to think about the language you're using when you're talking about like us being groomers and sexualizing children. But yeah, we're shoving rainbows down your throats. Now,
August
of course,
1st is
there's a
Emancipation
part
Day.
of me that wants to tell them what they can do, which you have told someone what they can do when things are shoved down their throats. That got you a little bit banned, but it's
Twice
like
on Twitter.
I'll just say, come taste the rainbow. Really taste the rainbow. Okay.
Are we going to go A to M on that one? You never go A to M. Oh, in this case, we're going full A to M.
Did you just say A to M on this? Really?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Oh
I
my
did.
word.
Well, here's the thing.
I am slightly embarrassed at the moment.
Well, here's the thing. You can say that, and somebody will get offended, and somebody will laugh, and everybody's going to go, what the hell did he just say? You can go figure that out for yourself. I ain't explaining it to you.
Holy moly, you went there. Okay. I thought I was the wild one. Well,
Well, it's not my thing, but what I'm saying is,
oh,
if they're talking about getting it shoved down their throats, let's,
I know, but
A to M.
wow, verbally, you go there.
Well,
I'm a little more demure.
well, they just seem to have this raging hatred for, denying people's rights to a life. It's like, and that's what it is. They're like, well, we don't want them teaching this radical ideology in schools. And they interviewed a couple of students. They go, they're not teaching that. There's pornography in libraries. No, there isn't.
No,
there isn't. Not even in public libraries. Okay.
But it's like the kids like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. I've seen a number of
Who's telling you this. Like, really?
number of children, literally high school children being interviewed by these wackos. Yeah. And the kids are like, no, none of that takes place. Well, what about this? No, that's not taking place either. Well, isn't there? No, that's not the case either. I don't know where you're getting your information, but it's not correct. And then they look like supreme idiots because the children are telling them, no, none of that is true.
And they're not responding with the same level of upset. When I talk about tone and countertone, that's the right count. It's like,
no, that's not the case.
No.
No.
It's the perfect countertone.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It just completely diffuses. Because, I think of it like if anybody plays tennis, when you're playing against someone that's returning a ball back to you with absolutely no pace, and you have to create the pace every freaking time. So yeah, that's exactly. It's point, mock, look at them with a wow. Look, all that's
you crazy.
That's it. That's literally it. That's the response. So by election day, there are 4 going on, 2 in Manitoba, 1 in Ontario, 1 in Quebec. Everybody is pretty much predicting, we'll get to that. Everybody's pretty much predicting that it'll go 2 and 2, 2 Liberals, 2 Conservative. So Liberals in Winnipeg, the old seat that Jim Carr, now the late Jim Carr, once occupied, and the Montreal NDG Westmount seat that was occupied by Marc Garneau, and at the ones in Oxford and Portage Lisgar, which is the latter one is the one in which Bernier is competing, will probably go Conservative. The Prime Minister also announced that there will be another by-election, I think in July. I don't remember the date off the top of my head, in Alberta, I think in the Calgary area as well. But for today, there will be 4. And of course, the one that everybody will have, well, the two that everybody will have their eyes on are Portage Lisgar to see how well Bernier does there. There is expectation that Bernier won't do as well because the vaccine and the mandates issue isn't as popular anymore. And maybe 2019 was or 2021 was the height of the party's popularity because it had an issue that could hold on to. But the PPC, as you may have noticed, has sort of, I mean, it was always there, but it seems to have now really, really, really doubled down on the trans issue. Like, really doubled down on the trans issue. As we mentioned on the other show, the Campaign Life Coalition also is like, okay, well, abortion doesn't seem to be raking in the money right now. Trans is, when Blaine Head said that trans was trendy, yeah, it's trendy for conservatives because that's the pool where that's the thing that they can rage about, that where they're making the most money at the moment.
What is it?
Because abortion was so last millennium, I'm guessing.
I read a stat the other day that it is 0.6% of the U.S. population that identifies as trans. 0.6.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really what I would call a trend.
Yeah. More if you
it's not 1%.
Yeah, and more if you consider like gender fluid and younger people are more comfortable identifying. But I mean, it's people feeling comfortable enough to be their authentic selves because they feel safe enough in their society to do so is not a fad.
No.
It's not a trend.
It's not.
It's just a thing. And it's not like a thing. It's just a thing. Like farting's a thing. We all do it. Sometimes it can.
Ladies don't.
Sometimes farting can be a thing. When you have a silent but deadly, or you let one rip. Because
you can smell it.
But farting is a thing. It's not a thing to get worked up about or embarrassed about. It's a thing.
It happens.
It's like people just being themselves is
like menstruation and menopause. They're things.
They're things. Exactly. It's like, come on, man. So,
accept it. It's not something to be embarrassed about. It's just a simple fact.
It's not something to be upset about. It's not something to be angry about. It's not something to feel guilty. It's just a thing.
Period.
So, in that writing, it does seem that the conservatives are worried because they have been addressing and running a campaign against him. They have a guy there named Brandon, Branden, that's been playing on the Let's Go Brandon things from the United States. Anyway, different spelling, but yeah, we know what he's doing. And it seems that there's a lot of talk of removing choice in Manitoba. If you've seen the little clips that have been going on. But the thing here, the big thing is the WEF thinking, World Economic Forum. They have been pillaring Max because he once went to the World Economic Forum in 2008 when he was in cabinet, and Stephen Harper sent him there. So Max Bernier is this big evil guy who succumbed to the WEF because he went in 2008. Now, the thing is that Harper had people go to the WEF from 2008 to 2015. Pierre was part of the caucus that entire time. And
funny, you won't mention that.
Absolutely. Well, not only not mention that, there are no clips or quips about him speaking terrible of the WEF as this thing that's come to, steal your children in the middle of the night and curb your spine. So that was very, very interesting. And then it turns out that not only have conservatives been going there from 2008 to 2015 at the request of Harper, but it seems that Stephen Harper himself was there in 2010 and 2012. And not only was he there, but he addressed the forum during that time. So Max Bernier, who went in 2008, is some type of hack, even though he went at Harper's request. But Harper, who went more recently in 2012 and 2010, and not only went more recently, but went more often, and recently gave his endorsement to Pierre Poilievre, which he very graciously accepted and told everybody about. So you can accept the endorsement of someone who went to the WEF and who sent people to the WEF, but you can't vote for the person who went to the WEF, and he won't ever send anybody from his party to the WEF.
Yeah, it's a lot of mental gymnastics there, isn't it? Yeah, I got nothing. Like somebody, huh?
He accepted the endorsement of the guy who sent the guy. And then he's sitting there and goes like, oh, like he did the same thing to Bernier as he did to Trudeau. Well, it's like, well, you'll have to ask him why he left that college. Well, you'll have to ask Max why he went and what he was doing there. You know why he went and what he was doing there. Your boss, the guy whose endorsement you just accepted, sent him. You were there. That's
Yeah.
it's
You can't make it up, right? Well, he's backtracking on his whole thing about transferring prisoners and how the prime minister can do it. It's not a Corrections Canada thing, and I'm like, so I thought you were all about removing gatekeepers. You just want to be the biggest gatekeeper. Here's the thing: he just wants to control every aspect of your life, so he will tell you what he wants you to hear and what he thinks you want to hear, so that he can gain power. And then once he has power, he's going to rob you of all your rights.
Yep. So you've got anyway, yeah. Bernier was Stephen Harper's foreign affairs minister. He went. There's actually a press release issued by the government of Canada saying that Max Bernier is going. If you look it up, but Pierre is pretending that he has no idea why he went and what it was he was doing there. He goes, "Oh, you need to ask Max about that." Same trick, same trick. So clearly he's worried. Now, here's some fun facts about Pierre of recent. Pierre recently, even though he tells everybody that he is pro-choice, Bill C-331, that thin edge of the wedge, let's start to give rights to recognize that the fetus has rights type bill. It failed at second reading, so it's not going anywhere. But guess who voted for it?
Skippy.
Mm-hmm.
Big surprise.
He voted for it while telling everybody who listened that he is actually pro-choice. Guess who didn't show up in the House to vote no to the budget estimates? After claiming he would fight, and after fighting against hybrid parliament, because he's saying that ministers and leaders, when they have a subject that's controversial, they won't stand up in the House to face the heat. Guess who, after his major belly flop, decided not to show up in the House to face the heat as he voted no because his filibuster and crusade failed because he didn't want video of that. Oh, yeah, that would be Skippy. And
Yeah.
guess, and then, of course, he's bashing Bernier for attending the WEF. And guess who is currently using the fact that Bernier once marched in Pride X number of years ago against him.
Yeah, they were distributing leaflets.
Yeah, they're distributing leaflets. But just 4 or 5 days ago, Pierre was quoted as saying, "I'll be joining with all Canadians to celebrate the fact that gays and lesbians have the freedom in this country to live their lives and raise their families in peace, in safety, and in acceptance. And I'll let you know once my schedule is more clear on how we do that." They do that by bashing Bernier for having walked in a pride parade X number of years ago. He'll tell you to your face that he's with you.
Mm-hmm.
He'll tell you he's pro-choice. He'll tell you he'll join with all Canadians to celebrate the facts that gays and lesbians have the freedom in this country to live their lives.
And then
With the
stab
right
him in the
hand,
back.
and with the left hand, he votes for C-331, and he has his party pass out little leaflets saying how Max Bernier is such a terrible person because he once marched in a pride parade. Sorry, Mr. Grizzly's mom, that little fucker.
No. I mean, he's just a little shit gibbon. That's all he is. He's a shit gibbon.
So yeah, and for Bill C-331, the thing is, it's like this barbaric cultural practices bill. It was completely unnecessary because we have 911.
Yeah.
But if somebody's committing a crime against someone that's barbaric in nature, you dial 911. Well, we already have laws that considering an aggravated factor if you target someone because of their gender. Well, if you target someone because they're pregnant, that's usually women.
Yeah.
I would assume. If you target someone because of health status, being pregnant is health status.
Mm-hmm.
That's already a crime.
Yeah.
So we don't need this.
No, there's enough stuff on the books right now as it is. This is just, it's a back door.
Yeah.
It's a
So
cloaked way to what they do is they will put a law around abortion. Because if a doctor performs an abortion on a pregnant woman, they could say, well, according to this law, he's harmed this pregnant woman. You know, that's all they're trying to do is backdoor this. That's all they're trying to do. It's a cloaked way of doing things because they're sneaky bastards.
Mm-hmm. Now Pierre's going to run around all the country going, it's common sense to offer protection to a pregnant woman. Some feminist Trudeau is.
Of course he'll, yeah. Mr. MGTOW will pull that shit. MGTOW will pull that.
Yeah.
You know damn well he will.
That's where he's going to go. That's why he voted for it.
Yeah.
Because he's going to make that emotional appeal.
What a shit gibbon.
Right? I'm calling it. Watch it. You'll see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I expect it.
Oh, darn. The answer just came. Sorry, but we're unable to grant your request. Management thanks you for your interest.
Oh,
Oh.
Their loss. Their loss, man.
Darn. Well, it's a bit ours.
No, I mean, it's their
It is a
loss.
bit
They would have had a very nice, welcoming place to have a discussion, but management doesn't see fit to do that. Management doesn't see fit. Nothing we can do about it.
No. Just unable, not unwilling. Unable.
Sorry, you were breaking up there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, I just said management made a decision. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
Their loss.
Yep. Let's see. What does Kit Saucy say here? American Right to Life coalitions have an effective strategy trying to use abortion to dismantle democracy. Be proactive and encourage people to vote in all elections to prevent. I don't know where the rest of that went.
Sorry.
A theocratic takeover. There you go. Okay. And what's the next one you had put up there, Mr. Grizzly? From Kit PNC Bio, it's not okay anymore to bash gays and lesbians. It's remarkably acceptable to bash the B and T. I'm willing to bet PP uses
Bi and trans.
Bi and trans, exactly. I'm willing to bet PP uses that language very intentionally. I would not disagree with that, Kit PC in Bio.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. It's very intentional. All of this is intentional. All of this is intentional.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, so there'll be by-election results tonight, 2 and 2. Anything else will be considered eventful. There's also some speculation going on in Oxford because Main Street polling, for some reason, had an outlier poll that showed that the Liberals and the Conservatives were pretty much running neck and neck, which got a lot of tongues wagging. But every other poll seems to indicate that there's about a 15 to 20 point lead for the Conservative candidate. So nobody actually knows how that happened. But hey, who knows? Maybe Main Street sees something everybody else doesn't, and we'll have a surprise in Oxford. So yeah, Oxford and Portage Lisgar will probably be the ones that most people will be watching tonight, because those are the ones that have the biggest stories. The other two are supposed to, the NDG Westmount and the one in the Winnipeg area, are pretty much going to be a standard operating procedure, or so it appears to be the case as the guys go the predictions. Do you have anything, Mr. Grizzly?
I got a couple of graphics here I wanted to show you from the brilliant political satirist and cartoonist Michael Dieter. This is, of course, Skippy on the head of a truck driving conspiracy theories, shouting that he's the king of the world. And Pierre Poilievre's strategy to expand his base, lies, rumors, and conspiracy theories. Is he eating his fist or punching himself? I'm not sure. But
repeatedly punching himself in the face.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. And I do have this story from the other day.
Yes.
Pierre Poilievre's latest video goes off the rails. I could maybe I'll narrate it later, and we'll just throw it into an audio podcast because it's long. But it's pretty heavy duty when you get right down to it. What was stated there, and how he's gone off the rails again, because he does that a lot. It's not new. See, I have the story here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. I got too many graphics open up in my my page right now.
Welcome to my world. There's just so much news. Oh man, I tell you. All right. Do you have anything more to say on that one?
No. I was gonna try and get the story up, but there, it just loaded. So I can narrate a little bit of it here. It's speaking from a Toronto subway state. Conservative leader conflates safer supply with toxic drugs, among other untruths. Federal Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre is considered a master communicator by many, and there is little question his rhetoric and attendant messages have a piercing effect, strongly resonating with many Canadians. He's become particularly adept at packaging thoughts around a particular theme in short videos that are perfect for our social media age. The concept has been copied by many political leaders across the country. And yet, while Mr. Poilievre's videos are doubtlessly effective, albeit over the top, cheesy, they are often also misleading to the point of being fabulously deceitful. This would include his latest set in the Toronto subway station. So there you go. There's quite a bit more to it. It was a really well written article by Gary Mason. There's an opinion column by Gary Mason from Friday's Globe and Mail. And
is there anything about what he says about how Pierre actually goes off the rails?
Uh, well, let's go with this. As he walks purposely towards the camera, Mr. Polyev jabs his index finger towards the viewer. You had a destination. That destination was a home. He goes on to say that for many Canadians, finding an affordable home in a safe neighborhood is no longer possible thanks to, yes, you guessed it, 8 years of Justin Trudeau and the federal Liberals. Even as he says this, Mr. Polyev knows this isn't true. The policies of the Trudeau government have had little discernible effect on house prices in Canada, which have been on the ascent for decades as a result of both worldwide trends and decisions by rich investors to prey upon desirable markets such as Vancouver and Toronto. Canadian house prices are the result of the same supply and demand principles that Mr. Polyev's Conservatives so religiously subscribe to. Housing costs have doubled over the last 8 years as government gatekeepers block builders from providing you with a roof overhead. His famous gatekeepers line, which would have to include, one supposes, those of a conservative persuasion, given that high housing prices exist across virtually the entire country in provinces run by people like Danielle Smith and Doug Ford. Get rid of the gatekeepers and all will be fine, Mr. Polyev tells us. But it is a lie, and he knows it. BC is getting rid of the supposed gatekeepers. The provincial government has ordered cities and municipalities to rezone single-family neighborhoods to allow for tens of thousands of multi-unit housing projects, while simultaneously acknowledging this onslaught of new construction will do nothing for affordability. The market sets the price, and as hundreds of thousands of new immigrants arrive in Canada every year, demand will always be high, and so will prices. There's certainly more to the column, but that's the gist of it. He just lies and lies and lies and lies and covers up his lies with more lies.
I get the angle, right? We've talked about the angle. Let's vilify the prime minister, demonize him. He's flooding the states with drugs. He doesn't care about people. He's trying to like raise your kids instead of taking away your parental rights. I get it. I get the strategy. But it's toxic. It is so completely toxic.
It's damaging. And he doesn't care. He doesn't
It's not
care.
constructive.
Oh, I mean, even look,
constructive in any way.
He will try and win the nanosecond with having a clip that he can share on social media, as discussed in this opinion from Gary Mason. Even Aaron O'Toole talked about it when he was, delivered his departure speech the other day. The thing is, he doesn't care about anything but winning the minute, and he'll say whatever he has to try and score a point or two, and have his barking seals that sit behind him in the House of Commons stand up and applaud him. Although a number of those folks have decided to take a seat and not stand up and applaud bullshit, lies, and conspiracy theories that have long since been debunked. Case in point, Scott Aitchison and Michael Chong, who refused to stand and applaud him when he trotted out that old nugget of untruth about how, the speculation about why Justin Trudeau left his teaching position at West Point Grey Academy. Long since debunked. But hey, he'll trot it out in the House of Commons because he can't get sued for it there. Which is why he is abusing his parliamentary privilege. Parliamentary privilege is not meant for you to just spew known bullshit. That's not what parliamentary privilege is. Parliamentary privilege is designed so that you could misspeak or make an incorrect statement in the House and not be held liable for it. When you purposely lie, when you purposely spread bullshit conspiracy theories that have long since been debunked, you are abusing parliamentary privilege, and you should have it suspended. Because that's what he's doing. He's abusing his privilege. And I mean, come on, he's been an MP for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
He's the official leader of the opposition, so he lives in a 19-room mansion where he spends $6,000 a month on water. I still don't get that. What is it? Every shower running in the building?
Oh, man.
Did he have
All
a
right.
concert over the weekend and they just nonstop toilet flushing? Like what? $6,000 on water?
I know. I don't get it. And it's never explained, of course. It was like a one-day story, and we just moved on
Yeah, of
again.
course. Well,
We
if he's
have.
going to go on about a $6,000 hotel room in a secure area during the funeral for a former monarch, I'm going to go on about $6,000 worth of water, a basic fundamental human right. He spent $6,000 on water.
Hmm. Hmm. Indeed, indeed. Oh, we have a kitty update from Kit James. The kitty is saving me. He knocks shite over, but he's soft and cute, and he snuggles like a champ that it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Ah, love it. I can't wait to meet the kitty. And I don't know if that means, Kit James, that you may not be coming next weekend, because you thought of maybe coming to see the show, but I'm guessing if you're on kitty duty, that probably takes priority. uh, he's using up the water so we don't have enough to fight wildfires. There's a conspiracy theory for you. It's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Indeed. Speaking about conspiracies, the special rapporteur thingy. You know how we mentioned the other day that some of the suggestions that were coming down the pike um, maybe had issues based on what everybody was saying had issues with David Johnston. So we had the Bloc Québécois who said, well, why not Justice Louise Arbour? She's respected, right? We brought her in to do the military stuff,
Yeah, we
right?
talked
She
about
was
this on
on
Friday.
the War Crimes Tribunal and all of that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, turns out that she has also been a member at some point or had an association with the Trudeau Foundation, which means that the exemplary record of service and our, quote, highly pertinent past experiences in leading such an inquiry that was cited by Blanchet now don't matter. They can't be put to service for the good of the nation because clearly she's conflicted. Right? I mean, if it was true of David Johnson, then it's true of her. So why did they even bother wasting our time? I mean, and Trudeau already had appointed her to review the military's handling of sexual assault allegations, and she delivered her report, and that was in 2021. So she must be in the bag for them because she's already been retained by him before. So she also served as a mentor for the Trudeau Foundation for former scholar Pascal Fournier 2 decades ago. So, well, 2 decades ago, that was like yesterday, right? So, I mean, so, and she, Fournier, who was the former scholar, well, she went on to become a lawyer and served as the head of the foundation for 5 years. So, I mean, clearly she groomed her. One Trudeau member groomed another someone to be a Trudeau member. So we can't have grooming. So no. Then Blanchet also suggested Louise Otis, a former justice of the Quebec Court of Appeals, who is currently president of the Administrative Tribunal of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, and the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie. If she's currently president of the OECD and OIF, I'm supposing that she probably will have had to have her nomination recommended or supported by Trudeau. Yeah. And she received the Order of Canada in 2015, and David Johnston was the Governor General there who awarded that to her. So I'm guessing we can't use her. And then he also proposed former Liberal Minister of Justice and Attorney General Irwin Cotler as Canada's former ambassador to China, and Canada's former ambassador to China, Guy Saint-Jacques. Oh my God. That is so cute. Look at that kitty. Oh my God. Oh my God, James's beard and the kitty are the same color.
Yes, they are.
And then this Guy Saint-Jacques guy who, I'm guessing, let's see, when did he retired after 30 years of service in 2016 when Stéphane Dion was Minister of Foreign Affairs, and just short of 1 year after the Trudeau government came to power. So, yeah, Canada Ambassador to the People's Republic of China from September. Well, at least he was nominated as ambassador by Harper. I mean, he served his last month, though, while Trudeau was prime minister.
So I guess that disqualifies him too.
Well, I mean, David Johnson once served under a recommendation of Stephen Harper as the vice-regal, and now he's crap. So, I mean, this was just an ambassadorship. Just doesn't rank as high as vice-regal, and so... I mean, he didn't have the wisdom to leave before Trudeau showed up for that 1 month and put him in that compromising position.
Yeah.
So I guess we can't. I guess we can't use him either. And let's see. Well, Erwin Kotler. I mean, he did serve in a liberal cabinet, like for many years, and I mean, he was the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada. Well, at least that was under Paul Martin.
Oh, but he's a liberal.
But he is a liberal, so I mean, I don't know. Is there really nobody that's not associated with the party or had any association to David Johnston or the Trudeau Foundation or the Prime Minister or in any way in his capacity as Prime Minister that anybody could name who's probably still alive now and active now and have an active security clearance now? Because, I mean, you have to renew those every 8 years or something, or 8 to 10 years faster, more soon if they're higher level. And well, he's already been prime minister 8 full years, according to Pierre Oliver, who doesn't know how to count. So anybody that would have had anything renewed over the last 8 years had it renewed while he was prime minister. So I guess they're all compromised too now.
Well, I was going to say, why don't we get Ben Mulrooney to do it, because he knows how to host and MC. Oh, wait, no, this is different. This is not a game show. Never mind.
No, that's David Mulrooney, not Ben.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, David Mulrooney was on the screen.
Yeah. So I see that.
But
this
I like
is going
Ben.
To, yeah,
he seems like a nice fellow.
Yeah. But I mean, as you can see, this is going to be like a very, very easy job to find someone that, because again, 4 really good names.
Mm-hmm. I still say Kim Campbell.
I still say Kim Campbell as well. Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't think she'd be too smart to do it though. She's like, nope, I'm not getting into that circus. Screw that nonsense. I'm enjoying my life right now. I don't need that misery. I saw what they did to Johnston. They're not going to do that to me.
Really, right?
Oh, we lost your feed. You've got no sound, sir. You've got no sound.
We need to find a unicorn, but first let's poison the well so much that nobody would take the damn job.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's some really interesting. Fife the Knife was on Primetime Politics the other day, still spinning the need for a public inquiry. And, well, let's just play what it is he has to say, because it seems that despite the fact that we have all this information and a lot of this contradictory information, he still thinks that there's some type of mystery or something that we're not clear about. Mr. Grizzly, if you would.
Here we go.
All right.
Find out why did the government know
I'm going to go back a little bit.
You could be doing some of the things we've recommended. For a public inquiry is going to take a very long time to come to conclusions.
A public inquiry is really important, because we have to find out why did the government know about these interference in 2019 and 2021? Was it ignored because it may have benefited the Liberals or not? That has not really been answered by Mr. Johnson, because he simply accepted the word of the Liberals. And, we need a public inquiry. If the terms of references are done properly by the opposition parties, we'll be able to say, okay, you're hopefully would be a judge, where you can compel evidence, you can get subpoena powers, you can actually find out what has gone on. In fact, whether there was a lot of inaction in other agencies as well. But we need to find this out. And at the same time...
Okay, let's stop there for now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuttering and stammering there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. We do not need to find this out. I think we're pretty clear on what happened.
Yeah.
We're seeing all of these instances, whether it's Bernard or whether it's Michael Chong, whether it's, right? There's information that is not getting up. There's something in the manner in which information is being dealt with that is not making its way up the system as it needs to be. This seems to be a common problem. We have the RCMP themselves saying that they didn't find out anything until it was in the pit. So it's like, if the RCMP doesn't know and the Prime Minister didn't know, like this, maybe they didn't know. Right? So we do not need to find out what they knew and when they knew and when. Like, that's number one. That seems to be rather irrelevant. We do need to know why it is that information is not getting out. We need to know where it is there are bottlenecks, where it is that there are people that decide, oh, this is something that the minister doesn't need to know. Now, earlier in that interview, he said, is the government, told all these people, if it's controversial, if it's embarrassing, we don't want to know. I guess technically that is possible, but that would be a really stupid way to run a government. Don't tell us anything so that we have plausible deniability, thus guaranteeing things that will come up for which you need to invoke plausible deniability because you weren't aware. And in a world that is pathologically risk averse, I would suggest that's probably not happening. Now, he's also saying that not only do we need to find this out, but he's saying that, again, that David Johnston just took the government's word for it. No, David Johnston went in, looked at a whole bunch of information, and then said, any reasonable person, had they seen the same information I would see, would come to the same conclusion. I'm going to ask the government to waive cabinet confidence on this information that I've seen, which the government did, and invite the party leaders to come and see it. And if they disagree with me, say so publicly. He's still spinning this as we need to know this stuff because it's still somehow a mystery, even though everything in the public domain, through deductive reasoning, lets us know that this is probably not a cover-up situation. To never attribute to malice that which can be reasonably explained by incompetence. This is what's going on. All right? He really needs for them to find something. He really needs. Like, he's basically running, well, there still is a statistical probability that there's something that may have gone on underground or unseemly that we don't know about yet, even though all the information that we have seems to point in the direction that this is really just dumb incompetence. Because, I don't know, maybe his Maharar and SNC belly flops are still stinging and he can't afford another one.
Possibly.
Because he went out on a pretty big limb on those two, and those didn't work out well for him.
No, they did not.
This SNC thing that was apparently this big travesty of justice whatsoever was not even deemed important enough for the RCMP to actually look into it. And now we've got Danyeller Smith, who's done way worse, and he's got absolutely nothing to say. It's not about these issues. If it was about these issues, he'd be just as appalled, and he'd be leading a Get Them campaign against Danyeller Smith as he did against Trudeau. It's not about the issue.
Let's talk about Danyeller Smith for a minute or two here. So last week she posted a picture of her working Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Posted a picture of herself working in her restaurant, taking a shift. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep.
And then the Edmonton Sun had a big discussion about her restaurant and how important that it is that the premier actually takes a shift washing dishes. It went up for sale 2 days later.
Yeah. 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 She's in the kitchen in open-toed shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Washing dishes.
Yeah.
Like, let's play how many health code violations.
And safety.
Yeah. Health and safety. Can we spot in this picture?
Mm-hmm.
She's got nothing protecting her outfit.
Nope.
In case like really, really hot scalding water.
Which
She's got no layer like this. She's got no drop of water on her.
No.
Then there's the other one where the restaurant's all full and she's holding like 2 plates. That picture. Of course, the restaurant's all full. And then 2 days later, it goes on the market.
Peculiar.
After getting that infomercial.
I want to know why, and that's what it was. It was an infomercial. I want to know why she's allowed to just get away with that, and the media is not pointing out the hypocrisy of it. Because what would happen if, I don't know, the premier of BC pulled the same stunt?
Or he's a New Democrat.
Well, yeah, so they would, and what if, the prime minister pulled that same stunt? They'd immediately point out the safety and health code violations and then say, look at this, he's just trying to line his pockets with money by selling this after promoting it internationally, because he's the prime minister. It's like the double standard.
Didn't they do that? Didn't they accuse him of like throwing a whole bunch of money at something at one point so he can get a 30-second mention on the Daily Show? There was this thing that the prime minister did, and that Trevor Noah picked it up, mentioned it on the Daily Show, and it's he's trying to write it. And it's like they're like complaining, and I'm thinking like, do you know how many people watch the Daily Show?
Yeah.
It's like, if the government of Canada bought an advertisement in prime time in the United States to promote this thing that they've just done, they wouldn't have got as much visibility.
No.
It's like, you are actually complaining that the government of Canada got international visibility for something good that Canada did.
It's just, look, they hate him because of his name, probably his hair. Fact that he's a good-looking man and people find him charming. They hate him because he's a liberal and his name is Trudeau. Like they invent reasons to hate him, because I have yet to have, and I sincerely mean this, I've yet to have a single person tell me how his policies have negatively impacted their life. And I'm not going to get into the people who manufactured, well, he robbed us of our freedoms. No, go fuck yourself when it comes to that. You did not lose a single freedom. You had your privileges temporarily suspended in the name of public health. And again, we've got them all back. It was temporary. It was never meant to be permanent. And they were privileges that were suspended. Nobody lost their freedom. I was not locked in my house. I was able to come and go as I pleased. The grocery stores were open. Most businesses were shut down because we didn't want to spread this killer disease that we had no treatment for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to manufacture hatred towards him because his name, his hair, his socks, his whatever they can throw at him. They just hate him because he is who he is. But they cannot name a single policy that has negatively impacted their lives. Not a one. Well, the carbon tax, you get a rebate for it, you shithead. Carbon tax has not negatively impacted your life.
Not only do you get a rebate, but it's actually doing stuff that eventually will help the fact that there are forest fires and wildfires burning. It's like, why are you complaining about 41 cents on the liter? Like, according to the Canadian Insurance Association, your insurance premiums have gone up 33% in the last 5 years. Because they're paying out over $2 billion a year in disaster claims. Last year, it was $3.1 billion.
My insurance went up by $25 a month this year. I've never had a claim. Ever. It went up. I'm going to be 55 in a couple of weeks. It should be going down, right?
Leave it to conservatives to get you upset that you're paying 41 cents more per liter on gas after 5 years of carbon taxes. All of 41 cents after 5 years. This to not get you to be upset by the fact that insurance companies have raised your rates 33%.
Yeah.
They're okay with you taking on that cost.
Well, of course. Except in British Columbia, where it's provincially run, auto insurance, and you get a rebate.
That's auto insurance. I'm talking house insurance and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But auto insurance is provincially run, and you get a rebate at the end of the year when rates go down, because if accidents decrease, rates go down because it's provincially run.
And accidents have been decreasing.
Yeah.
If you look at data for the last 20 years, somebody had posted something when they were talking about Slap Happy. They're putting that this is Life in Trudeau's Canada after
that piece of shit.
that bus accident. Well, somebody put it down and says car over the last like 20 or 30 years or something like that, car accidents and fatalities and injuries have like halved. Halved.
Well, with a lot more safety features,
right?
Especially the newer cars. Like mine, literally stays in its own lane. It stays in its own lane. Lane keep assist, active braking, all these things on new cars. And I've got like a 2020 Civic, entry level. It was the cheapest car I could get that I knew would be reliable and safe. And it has all these super safety features. New cars today, in 2023, have even more safety features.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Grizzly, if you put it up, I actually did find that thing back in 2018 that caused the conservatives then to lose their mind. It was a tweet he sent to Trevor Noah. Hey, Trevor Noah, thanks for everything you're doing to celebrate Nelson Mandela's legacy at the Global Citizen Festival. Sorry I can't be with you, but how about Canada pledges $50 million to education? Cannot wait to support education for women and girls around the world. Work for you? Let's do it. And then Trevor Noah mentioned it on the show. And conservatives lost their mind.
Of course they did.
We couldn't have bought $50 million of advertising in the U.S.
No.
That would have gotten us that visibility. And we promoted education of girls.
Women and girls around the world, yeah.
Well, no wonder conservatives were pissed off.
Well, MGTOW, right? I mean, it's the incel crew. 35-year-olds living in their parents' basements.
Right. So
how often did you brought that one out?
Now, I want to go back to that Bob Fife quote, because after delivering that huge amount of bullshit in about a minute and a half, in the next minute and a half, this is literally immediately after, in the same breath, not even a question asked in between. He flips to this, and all of a sudden, he's making sense, and he's the statesman talking in the interest of the country all over again. Just like that. He slips from one to the other. It's incredible.
Ready to go?
They were ready to go.
In action in other agencies as well. But we need to find this out. And at the same time, we need to come up with other solutions than just what Tonda's talking about, long-term solutions. And I think the NDP make a very good point. This activity is not unique to China, even though they're the number one country of concern. It's happening in the South Asian community in this country. And I think Mr. Singh spoke eloquently about how, as a Sikh Canadian, how many in his community have felt that the Indian government has been interfering in the democratic process in this country. So it's not, because we're a pluralistic, multicultural society, you do have some of this stuff involved in our election process, whether it's at the municipal level or the provincial level or the federal level, and we need to have laws in place or safeguards in place to protect Canadians so they can vote freely.
Okay, well, because we're a pluralistic society, we are going to have this. Immediately after saying we need to check to see whether or not what they knew, and whether or not this was done to benefit them. And again, may I remind you again that do we really need to check to see whether or not the Chinese government did this to benefit them? When? We have at the same time, and we have it all documented, that we took a decision against Huawei.
Yes.
We did not pass on the opportunity to allow Meng Wanzhou to just cross the border into the United States. We actually did arrest her. That we held her for 2 years while China tried to kill our canola exports, and then whatever else trade pressures that they tried to put on us. And then they engaged in hostage diplomacy, which again, it was the conservatives telling us, just roll over and show them our bellies because pandas. And we said no. And then Chairman Z tried to embarrass our prime minister when cameras were rolling, and our prime minister actually
Stood
said,
up to him.
no, that's not. But we're having doubts. We're having doubts that the Communist Party of China was trying to help the liberals.
Mm-hmm. I read
You've got the other party saying, hey, roll over and give China what it wants. Be China's bitch. And they're going to try to make us believe that China wanted the party that has the leader that would stand up to him when cameras are rolling in a country that loves to save face. That's the guy that this guy. We need to find really, Mr. Fife. We need to find out. You have doubts.
I read a fascinating article on the weekend, and I forgot to bookmark it, so I'll have to go looking for it. But it was talking about how the failure of Nortel, which happened under Stephen Harper's watch,
Yep.
was largely due to I'm not going to say a specific Chinese telecom company, but there is a specific Chinese telecom company that apparently was industrial espionage. Harper was informed of this, and we're told he looked the other way so it could sweeten the FIPA deal with China. Again, it's speculative, but I think it might even be leading into conspiracy theory. But it's an interesting article that I need to find it and reread it, because it points to, let's just say, it really does draw the roadmap. It draws a roadmap. So, he looked the other way. Well, he knew that there was industrial espionage, and that Nortel was being broken apart, and their secrets and their tech was being sold for pennies on the dollar, and when it wasn't being stolen. And now this big company out of China, this telecom company out of China that tried to set up shop in Canada, can't, because, well, that whole spyware thing.
Yeah. I know, right? So
it's just
but they want us to believe that there could possibly exist some type of reality, right? That there could exist some type of reality in which the Communist Party of China would be favoring the Liberal Party above the Conservative.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen, because they don't see eye to eye on a damn thing. And again, they call themselves the Communist Party of China. It's not. It's a dictatorship. It's not a communist party, because communism means the state takes care of everything. And in many cases they do, but they also rob you of all of your rights.
I found the article for you. It's a BNN Bloomberg article called "Did a Chinese Hack Kill Canada's Greatest Tech Company?"
Thank you. I knew it was, and I knew it was legitimate. It was BNN Bloomberg. When I read that the other day, I'm like, well, this is coming from a credible publication. So there's something there, is what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, absolutely. So
they seem to be pretty hardcore in their factual reporting.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, especially being in Bloomberg. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll go through that article when we have time, and then I get back to you more on that, Kits. But if you wanted to see it beforehand on your own, there it is. Please do look at that. Speaking of Slap Happy, since we mentioned him
what do you do now?
earlier, on the 26th, we will have the by-election for the mayor of Toronto. And it's who doesn't want this job? What was it, like 112 people or something ridiculous like that? I read on. Oh my god! I wish somebody. I don't think you can take a photo of the ballot, but I'd love to see what that ballot looks like.
Yeah, you can't take a photo of the ballot. It's against the rules.
But it's like, just out of curiosity, what the hell does that ballot look like? And there's a kid, Dan. Yeah, all 4,765 candidates. Sorry, 102.
That's going to be like 2 pages of ballot, right? Otherwise, it's going to be like 3 foot long. Here's a 1 meter ballot. Go out and 102 candidates. Judas Priest.
It's like if it was a magic trick, right? It would be like the ballot just keeps on coming out of the mouth. So yeah, it appears that by all accounts that Olivia Chow is the front runner by a lot, with probably Mark Saunders being the number 2, but distant behind and losing steam as the campaign goes forward. And again, as someone who's rainbow, I have no time for the man.
Mm-hmm.
You looked the other way during the Bruce MacArthur thing, and I'm sorry, buddy, but no. You do not have the qualifications. I understand that we share some pigment, but the fact that you are black alone does not get you my support. Sorry. I'm black and gay, and while you may or may have not done right by the black side of me, you did not do right by the gay side of me, and I'm a full person, so you got to go. Sorry, buddy. No, I don't live in Toronto. I don't get a vote, but that would be mine. And then a lot of people are, there's one or two polling companies that are saying that Blau is number 2. But it's sort of like that Oxford poll that some people are wondering if it's an outlier. Then there's Josh Matlow, I believe, that's also sort of getting some decent polling. And it seems that Anthony Fury has been also rising up a little bit, but it's not really. It seems that it's going to be Chow unless something super surprising happens. So, of course, you had Twit for Brains do this because, he's not already. He didn't get ratioed to oblivion with the exploiting the deaths of 15 people in Manitoba. But then he did remember, all in all caps, and I apologize to anyone listening. Olivia Chow was so bad in bed, Jack Layton had to visit hookers to compensate. If Chow couldn't satisfy Jack, how could she possibly satisfy the people of Toronto? If you donate to my website, somebody wrote, you can't afford hookers. If you donate to my website, I can, he goes.
Yeah, can't afford hookers.
Okay.
If you donate, you can.
There's so much wrong.
Yeah.
If Chow couldn't satisfy Jack, how could she possibly? She's running for mayor. You fucking human argument for retroactive abortions. She's running for mayor.
He's an asshole.
And we also know that massage parlor story was something that was put in as a plant to try and damage Layton in the last election in which he ran. I'm just... Seriously, how can she possibly satisfy the people of Toronto? What is wrong with this man? And again, how does he still have a freaking account? I don't get it.
I don't know how he can still have an account. I really don't.
I don't. This is just the thing in Manitoba, right? This happened last week. We're Monday this week. They still have not officially released the names. There are people they cannot recognize. And even though 15 people died, 10 went to hospital, some of them very, very, very severely injured. And now everybody in town, because it's a small place, can pretty much figure out who's on the list and who's not coming home, even though they haven't been officially told. Maybe a few people have been told, one or two, but the list of names hasn't become public and probably won't become public until sometime mid this week.
Mm.
I mean, when's the last time you've heard of a car or bus accident where it's been over a week before they can actually publicly release the names of the people who died? That's how bad it is. He exploited that. It's
because he's a terrible human being who only thinks about himself and how he can further his grift.
And then he turns around and goes, oh, you know what? Okay, I won't take that down. Oh, I guess I did take that down. So now let's just deal with Olivia Chow as a prostitute.
Yeah.
Listen, I know that there's part of me that should like see these things and just like walk by them and ignore them and not give them any attention because that's what these people want. I know. But you can't just ignore a bully. You can't just ignore a bully.
No, and as we said the other day, you know, his comeuppance is sooner or later he's going to push somebody too far, and they're going to just smack the shit out of him.
Bullies are not like teeth. If you ignore them, they don't go away.
No. And as I said then, I said it on Friday, and I'll say it again
today.
They'll do
something bigger for more attention.
I don't want to see it happen. This person needs help. This person needs therapy, perhaps some medication, a lot of therapy, because there's so much hatred there. It's not healthy to be that hateful.
It's not, no.
This person's going to find themselves on the wrong end of an argument with somebody who will not be tolerant, who will not tolerate his intolerance. I keep myself out of problems like that because I will not tolerate intolerance. So what I do is I just step aside.
Yep.
So that I don't get myself into problems, into trouble. You know, I don't need that headache. And this person is not worth me, you know, throwing my life away for, 5 minutes worth of fisticuffs? It's not worth it, right?
Yep. I've seen, Kid James, some people are just organic assholes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree. We've been talking about Marco Mendocino a lot lately. It seems that the word on the tweet is that a cabinet shuffle can be expected for sometime in July, with possibly Dominique LeBlanc being moved there to public safety, although he's really, 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 really good in the intergovernmental file. He manages to get along pretty well with all the provincial premiers, or possibly Mark Holland, who is currently, I believe, the House Whip. I think might be coming into there. I know we mentioned it before, and it may not be fair, but the Liberals need to make a few heads roll, either in cabinet shuffle, probably a couple people in the national security apparatus, and definitely a few staffers. I mean, I'm sorry, I do not understand how you can be a staffer and see Bernardo's name happen and say, well, let's see if we can resolve this ourselves, and then we can't, and wait until the last possible day or the moment that you can tell the minister, in a world where the words minister and vulnerable are things that when they're like anywhere approximately together in the same sentence, makes people have fits. Some heads need to roll, if only for the optics. But some heads, there's definitely some problems there. So expect a shuffle in July, and you might hear some people who are stepping down to spend time with family, or I guess to maybe avoid the firing or having to resign in disgrace. But between now and July, if you hear of some, I mean, if a minister gets shuffled, clearly the staff goes with it too. So, I mean, but yeah, there's a lack of professionalism here. In certain parts, and lack of competence, and that needs to be addressed. If you're going to deal with somebody on the other side, it's always looking for everything, any opportunity to say that something's broken. You got to make sure that your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and that you don't open doors.
Very true.
So, yeah, they need to do that. All right, Mr. Grizzly, I believe that we have a show.
We do indeed, sir. We do indeed.
We do indeed.
I have one graphic to show you really quickly here.
Absolutely.
Here we
please.
are. From Dean.
Yes.
Just a quick message to say, I'm a total Lululemon pants guy.
They are so comfortable. I got one pair of Lululemon yoga pants for men for Christmas, I think 3 years ago, for my Beaver sweetie. And I have one pair of shorts that I use as tennis shorts. I wear the F out of them.
Okay. So I should buy a pair, is what you're saying?
Seriously. I'm surprised there are not holes in the Lululemon yoga pants by now.
I guess they're well made.
How much I wear them. They are it's ridiculous how comfortable it is.
Isn't the guy who owns the company kind of an a-hole, though?
Yes.
Okay.
But those pants are so comfy. Plus, they make my ass look great.
Well, this is what they do for everybody, right? Yeah, I don't think Dean is talking about wearing them, and that's where I was going. Okay, let's get a wrap up. I gotta run into the office. I gotta take care of some stuff here.
Oh man, you people, I love you. Cheeky monkeys. All right. Kids, this is the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver podcast. We hope you love listening to us because we loved making this for you. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. Let your peeps know about us because democracy is something that you do. Please donate to the Red Cross. Help our brothers and sisters out who will need it. Because, those fires are still burning. The one in Donny Creek is now said that it's going to become the biggest one in BC history. It's already pretty much the size of PEI already.
Yeah.
So, fortunately, the one on Vancouver Island, though, is under control. So, Highway 4 that's joining the island, the east to the west, I think is open again. But again, you never know when weather patterns can change. Also, if you're living in Quebec and you were affected, the government recently announced that there was some compensation for people. So please look into that. I don't have all the details, but I think some compensation up to $1,500, if I'm not mistaken, in the province of Quebec. If you like this podcast, you can find us on the Crier Media Network as well as all Beaver Grizzly platforms. Stars and reviews are greatly appreciated, and we crossed the 280 subscribers on our True North Eager Beaver Media YouTube channel. So please keep subscribing. We really, really appreciate it. We love to hear from you, so reach us on our Facebook at True North Eager Beaver, our Twitter feed at True Eager, or by email at truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com. And if you want to make sure that you get all of our offerings as soon as they're fresh off the bandwidth, you go to our pod page right there where you see that QR code that just appeared on your screen. That's podpage.com/thetruenortheagerbeaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words. And like I said, once we have something fresh off of the bandwidth, you will get it. Our True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube channel would love it if you smashed the subscribe button, and if you happen to be watching, please smash the like button as well. There you go, Kit Lane. You beat me to it. Remember to smash that button before you leave. Stay cool and stay hydrated is Kit Elaine's advice. I think that's a very, 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 wise bit of advice. We can't do this without your kind and generous support, so if you feel that we've done a particularly good show, and if you're watching, you can scan the other QR code that just appeared by Mr. Grizzly's head, and that will bring you to our emergency hydration fund, where we hire staff named Cafe and Guinness and Hot Chocolat and Caesar to help us with the writing and editing and all the promotional functions that we do. So if you want us to be well assisted in bringing this product to you, well then, you bring your phone to that little thing, and that will bring you to our emergency fund. And if you're listening, then you go to Coffee on the web. That's ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, all in one word, lowercase letters. And that's where you can make your contribution to make sure that we get hydrated and my beaver sweetie turns me towards the sun. So that's how we make sure that we keep on coming back every morning. And that's the end of this episode. So from the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kids, it could be a tough world out there. So please be kind to and gentle with yourself. Mr. Grizzly, do you have some words of wisdom for us before we go?
I'm going to say just if you can, observe Juneteenth today. Because it's a holiday in the United States of America, and we have something similar on August 1st here in Canada called Emancipation Day. It's about the end of slavery. You do understand that it's if you have my complexion, celebrate it by just supporting anybody who wants to celebrate it. It's not about you if you look like me, but feel free to, give a celebration shout out to anybody who does want to celebrate it, because it's something to be celebrated, the end of slavery.
All right, Mr. Grizzly, please roll them credits.
I gotta find them. There they are.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum. And the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
I don't know why the music keeps speeding up at the end there. That's nothing I'm doing. I don't know why it's doing that. It's weird.
I think if we have a little lag at some point near the end of the episode, it tries to catch up with the time.
Maybe.
But I don't know either. Just a little Easter egg for sports fans out there. Unfortunately, Team Canada lost the CONCACAF Nation League's final yesterday to the U.S. 2-0. Bit of a subpar game from our national men's team. Mexico took the bronze, defeating Panama 1-0. Milos Raonic is playing again today, so we'll see how his comeback is going. And I had something else, and I forgot what it was. So, yes. If you have watched Cryer's Canadian Open coverage and you really, really liked it, there may be more coming on the tennis front.
Okay.
I am plotting and scheming to maybe get to cover the National Bank Open. We can get media accreditation.
I have a couple of stickers left over.
Ooh.
2. So if anybody would like them, just let me know and I'll send them to you.
All right.
Anybody wants a sticker, just DM me, first DM on Twitter. You get the sticker. You get one. I'm going to give one to somebody else, right? Because there's 2 left.
There's 2 left. Yes. All right, kids. Go out and be fabulous.
See ya.